I produce way more trash in Japan than I ever did in New Zealand. Like, okay, I want you to count on your fingers how many categories you put your trash into. In my prefecture, I have burnables and food waste, which goes out twice a week. Then there's plastics, which they go out on a Friday, but of course they have to be cleaned and dried. That's separate from plastic bottles. We've got to take off. They go out on the same day as cans, but that in the plastic separate cardboard and oh, by the way, the bags have to be, and you've got to maximize the cardboard and bag. No trash goes out every day, and by the way, and they just burn it all anyway. So instead of waiting for the next trash day, why don't we just make art?
Okay, I'm really excited to talk about my design process and inspiration for these pieces, but we can't do that until we know how much material we have to work with. So, first things first.
Cutting.
Let's get these mere vessels into flat sheets of aluminium. Sorry, for the Americans, that's aluminum. It was a bit of a struggle getting in at first, but by force or by horse? No, by hook or by crook, we got ourselves in there. If you do try this at home, it helps to constantly ask yourself, where is my thumb right now? Where are my fingers? What direction is the blade pointing in? This metal is pretty sharp when you cut it, and the little dangly bits and tags can cut real deep if you're not careful. But honestly, I don't think it's too dangerous if you just keep your wits about you. I've harvested wild obsidian from the earth before. No, silly, not that kind of obsidian. This obsidian!
Oh no, I can't mine obsidian. I forgot my diamond pickaxe. Oh no.
And it's very dangerous and sharp, and it's kind of a mystical material as well, so it just naturally requires a bit of bloodletting in exchange for taking it out of the ground. But I found that beer cans have far less mana, so I kept all of my blood inside my body. Long story short, I spent maybe a couple of hours just slicing up these cans. I need you to understand, it took me many months to build up this supply. I don't have a problem. Anyway, don't forget to keep your blade sharp. It's safer than a dull knife. You're a dull knife. Sorry, I didn't mean that.
Now that we have a big chunk of metal, let's flatten it all out.
I tried the classic caveman approach to flattening these, which was just me grab heavy thing. We'll see how well that works later on, but I read online somewhere that you can iron them, but I don't have an iron. Who do you think I am? I don't have an iron. It's a miracle they let me have a job. I'm a creature.
Alright, while we wait for those to flatten out, I have no idea how long it's gonna take. I'm guessing like 3 hours? 2? I don't know. They've been circles their whole lives.
I was killing time waiting for everything to flatten when I remembered I found this insane looking drink at the supermarket here called Asahi Red Eye,
which is a really gross name for a drink.
It was just regular beer mixed with pulpy tomato juice. The consensus?
This is fucking foul. This sucks. Alright, here we are on the morrow. New Zealand parlance. I'm a wee bit dusty today, but I still want to get some work done. I haven't actually done any of the art for the art project. I've just been prepping, so I'm really keen to get started. And I'm going to do that now. That's all. That's it. That's all.
So after 12 hours of keeping them under the weights... metal not flat, too lazy to wait. Whatever.
I do what I want.
That's my Eric Cartman impression. Okay, let's talk about inspiration for this project. I was really drawn to these images of milagro that I kept finding, which are charms used for prayer in Mexico. I could not stop staring at like the dangling arms and the hands with hearts coming out of them. I just loved them. Then those images reminded me of the doodles you see in medieval manuscripts with all like the fucked up like bits of humans and creatures and stuff. I don't know why, but these beer cans were really giving Catholic core to me. I started transferring those doodles into the middle sheets by tracing over with a ballpoint pen to kind of score or engrave into the middle. This really hurt. It hurt me. I was hurt by it. My wrist was so sore from trying to dig this pen into the middle. In my head, I thought this process would be smooth as butter, but it was really difficult. I think partly I just have weak ass wrists because all I do is click a mouse all day, but I was worn out. You might be able to see I'm flipping the metal back and forth because some parts I want them to stick out and other parts I want them to be recessed or engraved. It was quite hard, like I found my hand slipping every now and again and it would kind of go haywire, and once you've made a mark you can't unmake the mark, so it was a little bit stressful. But I think for artists doing crafts where you don't have Control Z, for Americans that's Control Z, but where you don't have an eraser, it just means that you're forced to make more confident strokes, make more confident marks. It's such a classic like high school art teacher thing to say, but they're right. They're right. Dilly-dallying, dithering in art? No. Just get on with it, eh?
I really like all these charms I've made. I'm a huge trinket fan, but I think I'm gonna try to just pump out a bunch of stars like this one. Should not put this next to my eyes. I'm not gonna make a stencil or anything. I'm just gonna make them and they're gonna be different shapes and sizes, and I think it'll look really cool when I string them all up.
I'm gonna run you through the process, but I think it's best to watch the footage because it's kind of hard to explain using words. Basically, I draw a plus sign where the vertical line is tall and the horizontal line is short. Wait, this is... we can do this. Let's get through this. I make a smaller X through the center of that plus sign, and then I connect the ends of all of those lines with like diagonal. I just connect them all and make the outline. It's fine. I cut that outline out because that's what an outline is. It's outline to be cut out. And you can be clean and neat with it, but I kind of like that they're all a bit wonky and fucked up. Does art imitate life, or... to make the piece fold into a 3D shape, the plus line... Okay, you turn your ears on. The plus lines have to push upwards towards you, and the cross lines have to recede. So when you score the plus sign, do it on the back or wrong side of the metal, and when you score the crosses, do it on the right or front side. By scoring, I mean digging in but not cutting through the material, so that when you fold it, there's space for the material to go through, if that makes sense. And if it doesn't, Google it. So once you've scored both sides and you push the center, it's like a little origami piece and it just smooshes together beautifully. Did that make zero sense? Well, I'm feeling hostile, so it's your problem. It's your problem. Just try it out for yourself. Experiment, okay? You can't trust tutorials these days. Everything's written by AI. You can't trust. I'm gonna kill myself. You can't trust crochet patterns, you can't trust recipes, you can't trust the fucking... They're making AI art of Minecraft houses, and they're not even using Minecraft blocks, alright? We're on our own! Anyway, stay tuned for my trinket garland reveal.
I was editing this project and I realized I forgot to do a wrap up, so you are in my lamp right now. This project was a fair bit harder than I thought it would be. I've seen a lot of clips online, so I thought the cans would be a lot more malleable and soft than they actually were, which meant that the work was quite slow going, and getting details dug into the metal was actually quite tricky. I think my favorite trinket is the little dagger I made. I mean, I love all of my children, but the simplicity of the design really lent itself to this medium. And I love the bird knight. I love the dredge fish, which I didn't end up adding to the garland because I forgot I lost him. Smaller details aren't very visible. I think there's a lot of potential for using soda cans beer cans as a building material, and maybe I'll do more, maybe I'll move on to another thing, who knows. Actually, I do know. I ran out of milk. And I stepped on my glasses, so I have to wear these fucking Austin Powers ones. Yeah, baby, yeah!
Oh, behave.
Video over. I said over!